Hello. As you can see, I am in my guest suite apartment number 1. I already did the pre-downsizing tour for you, I think back in February, but I'll link that in the end screen if you want to have a look at that. I've mentioned in, I think, a couple of my previous videos that I want to do an experiment this summer, and that is to move into my apartments to really experience kind of downsizing. And plus, it's a lot cooler down here. So it'll save me some money because I don't want to have to put the ACs on upstairs. And I haven't put any ACs out yet. So I'm going to be in this one for a while, and then next month maybe I'll go into the other one, which is lower down and even cooler than this one. But I'm not going to be bringing everything down. I'm only going to bring things down as I need them or want them. And I might change some things around, like some of the pictures or decor. I don't know. I'll just have to see what I need to do to make it feel homey in a smaller environment. And I'm going to spring clean as I'm here because I haven't done this room yet. So if you're interested to hear my insights in my downsizing experiment, please keep watching, and I'll see you at the end. Good morning, everyone. So last night was my first night spent in this little apartment as part of my experiment on what I'm actually going to need when I downsize. I haven't actually moved anything down here really. What's down here is what's down here. It started to get hot out and it was a bit warm upstairs. So I thought, you know what? I've been saying I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And, it was quite comfortable. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. I had the windows open because I like fresh air, and I like to sleep with it pretty cool. But I haven't set up the air conditioners or anything yet. It was a little disorientating when I first got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom because I didn't know where I was, and that's typical of any new space that you are staying in. But other than that, so far so good. I'm going to have this cup of coffee. Then I got to get dressed, and Misha and I have to go for a walk. She's right here. You didn't want to say hello? No? Okay. Well, I'll let you know how it continues to go. I started bringing a few things down as I'm using them. I brought the 2 canisters with the dog food and the dog treats and the grater and the knife for chopping up her chicken hearts. Actually, the knife was already down here. But I decided to bring my tea down here so it'll be handy for me to drink. However, so this side is coffee, basically. Actually, I could probably put that water away in the fridge again. I'm going to fill this drawer up with more coffee pods, and then over here, I put the kettle over here because this is where it can plug in easiest. And I'm going to make this my coffee station. But before I put anything in, I want to wipe out the cabinets because, as I said before, I haven't done spring cleaning yet, and that is what needs to be done here. Okay, so I am finally gonna spring clean, although it's summer now. My kitchen cabinets, that's the goal for today. Get all the kitchen cabinets cleaned out, wiped out, and decluttered. As you can tell, these are the dishes and glassware that, some of them were in my unit. And when I was decluttering up there and I switched around and put my blue and white dishes up there, I brought these down here, and the green ones went into my other unit, which I will probably get to next month. But right now I'm going to focus on this unit while I'm staying here. We do have a bit of a heat wave today, so I'm going to try and stay in here where it's cool. Before I begin going through my other cupboards, I thought I'd give you just a quick peek here. And I already put my tea stuff in there. Yeah, I have more stuff that was upstairs I brought down here. Here's my ice cube tray, and I think I need that, so I'm gonna make some ice. And so I'm gonna start with all the uppers, and then I'll do the lowers. So here's day 2, working on my kitchen spring clean out in my guest apartment that I'm living in at the moment as my experiment continues. So I'll just give you a quick before. Now I've already cleaned out this one drawer, and I had filled it up with coffee pods, and you can see how much I've already drank. So I'm not really going to do anything there. I've got this drawer here. I've got this here. I started bringing a few more things in. Oh, there's a couple of bags there, which I didn't know were there. The cutlery drawer. More utensils. Towels and stuff. And the oven mitt. And hot pad. Okay, so I'm going to start with taking out the things that are in here, wiping everything out, seeing if I can declutter anything. And I know for a fact I can. So we'll get at it. Okay, so I finished cleaning out all these drawers and reorganizing. No change with the coffee pod drawer. Over here, I put a couple of the little cutting boards. Well, this is actually a cheese board. And I thought, okay, I may use those. I roll a plastic wrap here. I may end up bringing a few more food saver type things in eventually. But, so there's space there for that. Nothing in here yet. I decided to put the dog food down at the bottom there. Bottom drawer, the dry food stuff there. And I refilled this one. And I also brought this little canister. It did have the poo bags in upstairs. I put some of her little treats there. So she has that. And I'm keeping this little wooden cutting board here that my son made. I'm just tucking that behind there. It doesn't fit in the drawer. I did clean out the whole thing here, including the tray, which was very water splashed. Some of the knives and things are in the dishwasher or the sink, I believe. I saw this way of, putting your utensils so you can kind of see exactly what you've got there. I did find an extra fork that belonged upstairs, so I took that up there. I did put the little measuring cup set back there, because I'm not sure exactly where I want that to go. And here is what I've kept for the utensils: the tongs, the barbecue fork, hot dog tongs, the other little tongs, scissors, can opener, the other kind of can opener, measuring spoons, potato peeler, and wine cork thing there. All essential, don't we know? Another empty drawer there so far, and I went through all the tea towels and I moved them down here, the ones I wanted to keep, plus a few of the dishcloths that I would actually use. And of course there's the oven mitt and hot pad thing there. Now these three spatula things will go here, but I noticed they were not cleaned very well the last time they were used, so I'm going to put those in the dishwasher. And then when they're clean, I'll put them in there. Okay, on to the next cupboard. Shouldn't take me too long. Okay, I'm on to this cupboard now with all the pots and pans and things. Finally, I just have to clean under the sink here. Fortunately, not too much stuff here. So I'm going to take these things out, wipe everything down, and I will go through the bin there with the cleaning stuff there for dishes and whatnot, and see if there's anything I want to get rid of, things I need to restock. Okay, so I finished cleaning out under the cabinet here. This is what I've got left in the little bin for, washing dishes and cleaning out the sink. I do put my collapsible dish strainer there when it's not in use. So I'll just put this bin back up there. And unfortunately, I have to move this out of the way so that I can do that. And that just kind of sneaks right in there like that. And then that has to go like that. And that cabinet's done. As you can see, the pots and pans cupboard has been cleaned out quite a bit. And I have moved over the colander from the other cabinet, which I'll show you now. So all I have in this cabinet now is my electric kettle the toaster and the fire extinguisher, because I figure if I do bring any more appliances in, I will keep them in this one cabinet here. And I also did not show you in the bottom drawer here, I have a bake pan, a pie plate, and a cookie sheet. And I did not wash those because I did that not too long ago, like a couple months ago after my son and his family were here. Well, this is a dirty job. I am cleaning the filters out for the over the stove fan thing. So basically I've just got hot soapy water here, and I did some scrubbing with my little brush there, and yeah, I'll do a little bit more here before I take it out. And one less thing to do. Well, this is all nice and clean. I gave the sink and the countertops. I moved out the dishwasher and cleaned good behind that. And all the way around here. That's looking all nice and clean now. And so what else have I got to do in the kitchen? Oh yeah, the light fixture up there. I haven't got to that yet. Now I've set out a couple of clean towels here. A brand new tea towel that I've had for years and never used it. And a hand towel. I love this grater here because I use that to grate some of Misha's dog treats on her food. And she gets different stuff. She sometimes gets, you know, chicken hearts and, you know, human type food too. But I try to keep her on the same kibble for the most part. So this is all clean now too. I cleaned the top of the fridge when I was doing the cabinets up there. Unfortunately, I cannot get up to do along the top there. And so that's going to be really dusty and greasy if, you know, a new owner was to decide to rip this out and put a new kitchen in. I had thought about doing it once upon a time, but it doesn't make sense for me to do it now. So here is all the stuff that I have decluttered, mostly from the kitchen. There's a few things over there that were in the bedroom and the bathroom, but don't pay attention to that right now. Now, you may remember my little kettle there that I decluttered from my place, and then I decided I wasn't going to declutter it because it really came in handy when the power was out. So I just kind of temporarily put it down here. I'm not going to get rid of that though. I'm going to put that down in the shop with my emergency stuff because it does come in handy if you need to boil some water for a cup of coffee. I mean, yes, a pot will do the same, but this has got the nice little spout on it. It makes it a lot easier to pour. And if you've got a barbecue or a camp stove or some other source of cooking heat, always good to have a backup plan for when the power goes out. So I'm going to get rid of these sponges and things. I never reach for these. I don't use them. I've kept a few scrubber things that I do actually use, and so these can just go in the garbage. Nobody's going to want those. This little teapot is for decorative purposes only. That was my mom's, and I am going to let that go. I'm going to try and limit my dust catching things. And, you know, a couple of bowls, these little freezer containers. I'm getting away from using plastic containers. I mean, they came in handy when I had to take them to work because you didn't want to take glass to work, and plus they're heavier. Real Tupperware cups and this funnel. I have a funnel just like this in the off-white. And what are you doing? Oh, she scared herself. Anyway, so I don't like the color orange. So I can get rid of that. I already have another one that I can use. So that's fine. This is like double boiler pot thing. It's, you know, the top part's fine. The underside's a little black, and sure, it still works. Still usable. I don't know if my son is going to want to use that, but that's a possibility. I have. There's wok. I'm going to let that go. I figure a frying pan's good enough. And this is a griddle. This went with that set that was my mom's. She bought it in the 60s. Like, there was, I forget how many pieces in it. She paid over $500 back in the 60s for this set. Obviously still good, like still usable in it. And this is great for making pancakes and that, but guess what? I never make pancakes. So that can go. I think she used this big pot for canning. And what else? I've got, now this is a newer hand mixer. I'm going to keep this one and replace, I've got some other stuff in the other unit. So I think the one in the other unit's older. That was my mom's, and I'm going to keep this one instead as a backup. Maybe, I don't know. I've got 3 sons. I'll ask them all if they need any of this stuff that I'm getting rid of. This antique bowl, I think I can put that in the yard sale. Might be able to get $10 for it. I bought it at a yard sale like 35, 40 years ago for $10, so maybe I can get my money back. I'm not going to get rid of the utensil organizer yet, or this basket yet, because you know, as I've mentioned previously in other videos, I don't like getting rid of organizing things. And okay, so there's a bunch of these microfiber type tea towel type things. I don't really like them for drying dishes. And I mean, they're fine for cleaning stuff, but I'm just gonna let that go. I think they're actually pretty new too. I don't think they were used for too much. And then there's this Norwex a little mesh, what do they call it? It's a dishcloth. It's got a little bit of a, you know, it's kind of like an abrasive texture to it. I never use it. I find that way too big for me, but you know, somebody else might. And a couple of handmade dishcloths. And here's a few oddball pieces of, you know, wooden spoons, a nutcracker for walnuts. I never buy walnuts. I'm never going to use that. This is a salad, what do you call that? A spork and a spoon, and a few other little oddball spoons here. I'm just going to let those go. I got an extra potato masher here. Well, I've already kept my 2 favorites. That can go. I'm going to get rid of all of these plastic utensils, you know, yard sale, and this cutting board. Yeah, so I guess that's everything I've got here ready to go. So here are my 2 mosaic clocks from Spain. This one, the bigger one, was over the kitchen sink, and it does not work. I tried putting a battery in it. It doesn't do anything. This one, it does work, but the minute hand was broken off of it. So what I'm going to do is, you know, get a couple new things like this with the new hands on it, and I'm going to repair them, and I think I'm going to keep them because I love them. Well, I'm sure you probably already figured out that it actually took me a couple of weeks at least to finish spring cleaning my kitchen down here and going through things and decluttering. I've continued to bring things in as I need them for this experiment, and I'm probably going to do it for maybe a little bit longer than I first planned. Because I have a friend staying with me for a little bit in my other unit. But anyway, if you have made it to the end here, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.